In the last tutorial, we created our navigation bar. One important thing to note is that when we shrink our web browser, the links stack on top of one another. This causes an issue on very small mobile screens because of the amount of space this entire block takes up. A solution is to make the nav bar collapsible on very small screens. I'll add in the necessary code to show you the result, and then we can go over it. I've added in the code blocks to make this effect work. I'll refresh the page so you can see a preview before we go over it. You can see now that when we shrink the size of the web browser, the navigation bar hides the links unless we click on this button. Only then does it expand. The user can contract the navigation menu by clicking on the button again. You can see that we also have our submenu there. This makes it much more convenient for the user when browsing the web page on a handheld device. In order to create this, we first need to start with a button element. And this is positioned after the div with the class set to navbar header. Inside the button element, we create a class, navbar toggle, and a data toggle attribute set to collapse. We also need to set a data target. We've set it to nav1. This is very important, and you'll see why this is relevant in a second. In the button element, create 3 span tags, each with the class set to icon bar. This is what styles our button. You can see these 3 lines here. These are each icons. Next, we need to wrap our navbar buttons into a div with the same ID as the data target attribute that we previously set. So remember that data target we set over here to nav1? Well, we need to create a div with the ID nav1. Those 2 values must match in order for this button to work. Give this div a class, 2 classes, collapse and navbar collapse. It's also important to remember to close the open div we just created. And you can see that we've wrapped both our unordered list elements inside this div, the open and close tag. And that's all there is to it. So once you save your file and refresh, you'll now see the button there, which allows you to expand and contract the navigation menu items.